Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In today's video, I will be talking about AWS CloudWatch, which is also like one of the most important services, and you will be using it in AWS if you are deploying your applications in AWS Cloud. So you will be using it in some form or the other. Okay, so let's start with the very basic concepts. What is AWS CloudWatch service? So AWS CloudWatch is a monitoring service, which means that you can monitor your AWS resources and the applications that are using those resources using this service. So when I say monitoring, I mean each resource that you create in AWS has its metrics. Okay, metrics is a you can say it's a type of parameter, or it's a way by which you can measure the performance of a particular resource. And there will be various metrics for a particular resource. So in this example, as you can see on the screen, I have an EC2 instance. Okay, so let's take the example of an EC2 instance. You have an AWS account. In that account, you want to deploy an application, and you want to deploy an application by creating an EC2 instance and then installing and configuring your application on that EC2 instance. Okay, now if you have to monitor the performance of this EC2 instance, which means that you want to see if this instance is running as expected, or is it having any issues, or is it failing to perform. Okay, so if you want to have those insights into your instance, you can use this CloudWatch service. So when you create an EC2 instance, so by default, this CloudWatch service is enabled on it, and you get to see a lot of metrics by default, okay, free of cost. Okay, so when I say metrics, I mean like CPU utilization, it can be disk usage, it can be network metrics. Okay, so these three are available by default to you when you create your EC2 instance via CloudWatch service. Okay, I'm going to show you also in demo in a while. Okay, so just understand that CloudWatch service is used to monitor the performance of your AWS resources and the applications that you run on those resources or using those resources. Okay, so in this example, I gave the example of EC2 instance where you can have where you can have information about its CPU utilization, its disk usage, or its network bytes. So these metrics are available by default to you via AWS CloudWatch. Okay, so why do we want it in the first place? Suppose you have this application running on this EC2 instance which is not performing well. It has some performance issues, or it is crashing, okay, time and time again. So in that case, you would want to investigate and find out what is actually causing the website to fail or the application to crash. So to have a view of all the things that is happening on your EC2 instance and your application, you can go to your CloudWatch service and you can just filter out the result for this particular EC2 instance, and then you can have a look at its CPU utilization, its disk usage, or its network information. Okay, so as I mentioned, these are available by default to you. So by looking at that, you can you can find out if one of these parameters are actually causing the issue on your EC2 instance, which is also causing your application to fail. So this is how important this service is, to have an insight on the different parameters or the different metrics that are attached to your resource, and then you can have a look at it, you can investigate and find out the issue, and you can resolve the issue accordingly, right? So this is just one use case of this service. The other is alerting, which means that if you want to have a way by which you can receive an email notification to you when something goes wrong on your instance. For example, you have set the metric like whenever CPU utilization on this EC2 instance hits 80%, I should be receiving an email, okay, via this feature called a CloudWatch alarm. So there's a way by which you can set up alarms on these metrics. Okay, so let me repeat myself. So you have this EC2 instance, okay, which is having some issues. Okay, I mean it had some issues in the past, and your application keeps failing and crashing, and you found out that this is happening due to CPU utilization on this instance, which is getting really high from time to time. Now, what do you want? You want to set up an alert notification, okay, wherein whenever CPU utilization hits 80% of this on this EC2 instance, you are going to be notified via an email. So for that, you can use this feature called CloudWatch Alarm. Okay, so apart from monitoring, it can also send you an email, okay, which is based on the alarm. Okay, I'll talk about this in much more detail in this video itself. Okay, so just understand the concept of this service. Okay, how useful this service is. Okay, so you can monitor your resources, you can set up alarms. These alarms are also based on the particular metric. In this example, I gave the example of CPU utilization. So I mean, whenever it reaches 80% or more, it's going to send an email to you that the CPU utilization on this instance has become 80%, and then take some action. Also, you can actually have automatic, you can have some automatic actions also enabled, okay, based on this CloudWatch alarm also. Which means, for example, if I talk about this one more example, suppose this EC2 instance is part of an auto scaling group. Okay, now what you want is, you want to set up an alarm like whenever the average CPU utilization of this auto scaling group reaches 80%, okay, then one more EC2 instance should be created automatically. Okay, so this is the type of automation you want. So this is possible using CloudWatch. So CloudWatch can monitor the metrics of this resource, which is an auto scaling group in our case. And then whenever the CPU utilization hits 80%, it's going to trigger a scaling event. It's called a scaling event, wherein the number of instances in this auto scaling group will be increased by 1 to support the additional load from the users. Okay, so this is how you can have some automation also using CloudWatch. So CloudWatch can proactively monitor some metrics on your resource like EC2 instance or an auto scaling group, and then it can actually take actions on behalf of you as well. Okay, so it can take the action, like it can increase the number of instances, or it can decrease the number of instances also. Okay, so once again, this is just one example of what I'm showing you. So there are ample examples like that. So this is how important this service is to monitor the metrics on your resources. It can send you email notifications. It can take automatic action also on your behalf. Okay, you just have to configure it once, and then it's going to do its work. Okay, this is one thing. Now, there are two types of metrics that you can use with CloudWatch. One that is available by default. Here in this example of EC2 instance, I already spoke about CPU, disk, and network. But if you want some other metrics like memory utilization, okay, so you want to have some insight into the memory utilization of your EC2 instance. In that case, you have to install one agent, or you can say you have to install one piece of software on your EC2 instance, which is called CloudWatch agent. So once you install this agent, you configure it, then you can have insights into the memory utilization of the EC2 instance as well. So you see here, you can have some customization also of the metrics that you want to monitor for your resource. Okay, so in this case, I'm taking the example of memory, but once again, it can be other metrics also. But this is the most common custom metric that you want to monitor for your EC2 instance. And this is again one of the most important interview questions as well, that if you have to monitor the memory utilization on an EC2 instance, how would you do it? So you have to tell the interviewer that it is not available by default in CloudWatch. You have to install an agent called CloudWatch, CloudWatch agent on your EC2 instance. You have to configure it, and then you will be able to see the memory utilization of your EC2 instance on CloudWatch dashboard. On CloudWatch dashboard. Yeah. Okay. I hope the this concept of CloudWatch is clear to you, how it is useful to you, and how we are using it, and why we are using it, and why it is so vital for you to know about it. All right. So here you can see I've already created one GitHub repo. Okay, so I'm going to start with the demo part now, where I'm going to show you how this CloudWatch looks and how you can actually install and configure a CloudWatch agent to have this memory utilization metric also seen on your on your CloudWatch dashboard screen. Okay, so as you can see here, I have just included some of the concepts that I just spoke about, that it's used to collect and track metrics, okay, which are like the variables to measure performance of AWS resources and applications. Also, you can create alarms that watch metrics and send notifications, or you can automatically make changes to the resources you are monitoring, and when a threshold is breached, as I just gave the example of CPU utilization, okay, where you can have one more EC2 instance created as part of the your this auto scaling group, okay, depending on the type of metrics that you use. Okay, also just remember this, that this CloudWatch is like a repository of metrics. Okay, the metrics can be default or it can be customized. Then there are some concepts as well, like when you create these different metrics, you can have some sort of isolation between the different type of metrics of different resources. Okay, to have this isolation, you have to create namespaces. So namespaces is a way by which you can have some separation between the type of metric that you want to create for the different resources. Okay, I'll come to this. I'll show you also. And also this matrix is like a time ordered set of data points. Okay, so this is just the definition of it, but it generally means that the parameter and its values that is monitored over a period of time. So okay, so it's called metrics. And then timestamps is each data point that you have as part of your matrix will have some timestamp, like date and time only. Okay, so it's that. Then I've just mentioned the steps also that you can follow to install and configure the CloudWatch agent, which we will see in a while. So now let's go to my AWS management console, okay, and see everything in action. So from the console, you can search for CloudWatch. You can just type watch and it's going to give you the CloudWatch service as the first result. So once you click on it, you will see this as the default dashboard. Okay, so it generally looks very complicated to understand from start, but it's actually very easy if you know the concepts. So this is the default view. Okay, now what we want to see right now is the metrics part, right? So on the left hand side, if you scroll a little bit down, you will see all metrics. So just click on it. So all your resources, that are there in this AWS account will be shown with the default metrics on this screen. Okay. Okay, right now title graph. Okay, I'm seeing a different screen for some reason. Let me just click on it. Let me go back to CloudWatch. And let me click on all metrics again. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I did not scroll down. So as you can see, this is the default metrics dashboard on CloudWatch. And if you just scroll down here, you can see these different type of namespaces which are already there. Okay, so some of it has been created by me because I was just I've been using this account for a while and I've been doing a lot of work in this account. So I have some namespaces already created and some of it is there by default. So for example, let's take the example of EC2 instance, which I just showed you in the example. So this is the default screen, and if you want to check the metrics of a particular EC2 instance, for example, let's take an example here. So just scroll down a bit, and under this AWS namespaces, you will see EC2. So just click on it. Then you will get this per instance metrics. So you can click on it to check the instance, to check the metrics on per instance basis. Now when you click on it, you will see these different metrics available for different type of resources, or different EC2 instances. So even if you have deleted your resource from your AWS account, okay, you will still see some metrics from that instance here, because this is historical data and it is stored for some time. I think it is stored for at least 15 months. Okay, I'm not sure about that figure, but I think for some time period, even if you delete your resource, the metrics which was generated by that resource will be available in CloudWatch. Okay, so here you can see some of the these metrics are for some of the past instances that are not in my account anymore, but even then you have this metrics. Now in my case, I have already created one EC2 instance which I want to show you now. So this EC2 instance is already there. So if I want to check the metrics of this particular EC2 instance, I just have to copy its instance ID from here, and then go to my this CloudWatch, and then I can just filter it out with the instance ID like this. Hit enter. So now I will see only the metrics of this particular EC2 instance. Okay, and now as per our example, let's take the example of our CPU utilization of this instance. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to check this metric name. Just scroll down and check for CPU utilization here, and just select it from here. As soon as you click on it here, then it will be added to your CloudWatch graph. So this is called graph. Okay, so this particular metric will be added to the graph as soon as you click on it like this. Okay, as you can see, I already have some data here that I'm able to see. And if you see here, these are called data points. Okay, so this is one data point which is appearing at this 10:35 local time. And if I check the other data point, it is at 10:40. And similarly, like 10:45. So all these data points are occurring in the increment of 5 minutes. Why? Because by default, the CloudWatch will give you data points separated by 5 minutes. So this is the default CloudWatch behavior. Remember this. Okay, so by default, when you don't enable any additional configuration, when you don't enable any detailed monitoring on your CloudWatch resource on an EC2 instance, especially, you get the metrics. Not on EC2 instance, but on all the resources. So by default, the data points will be 5 minutes apart. So this is the default behavior of CloudWatch. If you want more detailed monitoring, like 1 minute, so you can have these data points at 1 minute each as well. For that, you have to enable detailed monitoring on your AWS resource, and it is chargeable also. Okay, I'll show you how it looks. So this is the default behavior. So you can have these different data points which are 5 minutes apart. Okay, now if I have to enable this detailed monitoring, I have to go here. I have to go to this monitoring section here, and then I have to just click on this manage detailed monitoring, and I have to enable this. Okay, if you enable it, of course you have to pay extra, and these data points will be 1 minute apart if you enable this detailed monitoring. Okay, so I just wanted to explain you the difference between free monitoring and charge monitoring in CloudWatch. Okay, this is fine. Now as you can see, we are able to see the metrics. Okay, now let's take a look at some other metrics also. Apart from CPU utilization, you can see some other metrics is also available, which is available to us by default, like the status check failed system, or EBS by balance EBS bytes balance or EBS write bytes, read ops, write ops, some network related like network out or network packets out, network packets in, and so on. So as you can see, there are so many these different metrics that you can use to check the performance of your EC2 instance. Okay, but you will not see this memory utilization. Okay, so if you want to monitor your this memory utilization of an EC2 instance, for that you have to install and configure CloudWatch agent on your EC2 instance. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. But once again, as you can see, there are so many different options there. So I would like you to explore these options on your own and let me know if you have any issues with anything. Okay, yeah, just one more thing. So here you can set the refresh window. So here I've set it to this 10 seconds. So after each 10 seconds, this window is going to refresh itself. But you can set it to some other time period also, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 15 minutes. It's up to you. Also here you can decide what what is the time period that you want to monitor for your resource. So here the default is 3 hours, but you can set it to something like 5 minutes also. Okay, also, okay, so there is no metric here, so let's change it back to 3 hours. Okay, now if you want to zoom in to these different data points, you can just do like this. You can just, and then you'll be able to zoom into these. Okay, so you can get some more additional details related to a particular metric for your resource, like this. Okay, and if you want to zoom out, just click on this icon here, then it's going to zoom out. Also, you have, apart from this line graph, you have some other type of graphs as well that you can take a look at. Like you can have stacked area like this. Okay, so this is like another type of graph option that is available, or you can have something like probably a gauge like this, or you can have bar, and so on. So depending on what you want to set it up, you can choose the different type of graphs here and configure it accordingly. Okay, so let's change it back to line, which is the default one. Also, if you want to create a dashboard, on this CloudWatch, what you can do is, you have selected your instance or your resource and your this metric that you want to monitor. Then you can go to actions, then you can click on add to dashboards. Name it any dashboard, like demo dashboard, probably demo dash. Okay, and just click on this create new. Sorry, I need to do demo hyphen dash. Okay, then create. So let's change the spelling, demo dash, and then create new. Sorry, just type the name here and just see all the other options, and then click on add to dashboard. And then you can save the dashboard like this. Also, you can add it as your favorite. So you can just click on this icon here. Okay, so this is your dashboard that is created. Okay, similarly, you can do other things as well. If you want to edit, you can edit it. You can duplicate this. You can enlarge it like this. So there are different options as well. So these default dashboards are a way by which you can get rid of repeating the things. For example, you want to monitor this like once a week. So you can just create a dashboard and set this query here like this, and then you can just whenever you want to see the details of this matrix on this particular instance, you can just go to this dashboard section from here. Just scroll up, you can click on this dashboards, and you will see all the dashboards that you've created for your in your account. And then you can click on this, and then you can check the the metrics for your particular EC2 instance in this way. So in this way, I mean, you have saved some time. I mean, you don't have to filter it out with the instance details, and you don't have to choose the metrics each time. You can just have this dashboard created here that you can simply access you can quickly access it as soon as you reach your CloudWatch dashboard screen. So this is the way to save your queries, okay, in the form of dashboards on CloudWatch. All right, I hope this is clear to you. If you have any doubt related to any of these, you can always reach out to me in the comment section and I will answer your queries. All right, this is done. Now next I want to set up CloudWatch agent. I want to install and configure the CloudWatch agent, and then I want to see if I can create some, if I can get some custom metrics into my this CloudWatch screen for my EC2 instance, and then I will try to set up an alarm as well, okay, which is going to send me the notification whenever a threshold of the metrics gets breached. Okay, so let's start doing that. So all those steps I've already mentioned on my GitHub repo. When you go here, you can see the steps here. Steps to install and configure CloudWatch and Amazon SSM agent. Okay, so apart from this CloudWatch agent, I'm going to install another agent called Amazon SSM. Now, what is the meaning of this? So Amazon SSM agent is an agent that is used. So once again, there is a service in AWS called AWS Systems Manager. Let me show you that. Systems Manager service. So the Systems Manager service is a service by which you can manage your resources from AWS itself. So for example, you have this EC2 instance, okay, you want to update the security patch. Some issues there. I'll just refresh the window. So okay, I'm having some issues accessing this service, but anyways, let me just give you the idea of what it actually means. So what is the main reason we have this service? So you can manage your instance centrally from Systems Manager service. So all you have to do is you have to install an agent called Amazon SSM agent on your EC2 instance. Also, you have to attach an IAM role which has the sufficient permissions which are required for your instance to talk to this service. Okay, so you have to do two things. You have to install the Amazon SSM agent, and you have to attach an IAM role which has the sufficient SSM agent permissions or Systems Manager permissions attached to the role, so that your instance can talk to this service. Okay, so yeah, that's what it does. So so after doing this, you can manage the instance from this service. How? If you have an important security patch to be updated on your EC2 instance, you can do so by running the command remotely from this Systems Manager service on your EC2 instance. If you want to upgrade the operating system of your EC2 instance, that also can be done. So it is like you can patch, you can install any software, so you can run those remote commands from this service to your EC2 instance after you install and configure the SSM agent. Okay, so that's what it does. In our case, what I want is I'm going to install the SSM agent and the CloudWatch agent on my EC2 instance. Then the main configuration that I'll be doing for my CloudWatch agent, that configuration I'm going to put on the Systems Manager parameter store. So in Systems Manager, there's a store called parameter store where you can store this configuration. Okay, so I'm going to put this configuration there, and then I can manage my CloudWatch agent configuration also from the Systems Manager, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's go to my GitHub repo and see what all steps are mentioned there. So in this GitHub repo, I have mentioned all the steps that you need to install and configure the CloudWatch agent and the Amazon SSM agent. Alright, so let's go step by step. Step 1 is to launch the EC2 instance with Amazon Linux AMI, which I've already done. If you have any doubts, you can watch the earlier video in the same playlist where it is related to EC2. So where I've give all the details of how you can create an EC2 instance in AWS, how you can use all the options while creating the instance as well. Okay, here I'm using Amazon Linux AMI because I have tested these commands. It works well on this operating system, but you can use other operating systems as well, Red Hat or CentOS or CentOS. I'm not sure how these commands are going to work, but it works well on Amazon Linux AMI. Okay, so I'm using this in my case. Then I'm going to create an IAM role. So this IAM role is going to have two policies, one for the SSM agent, the other one for CloudWatch agent. Okay, because your instance also needs permission to post the metrics to the CloudWatch using this agent itself. Okay, and also you need the role. You need the role with some permissions which are required for you to post your metrics data from instance to CloudWatch. Okay, so to do that, I have this other policy, and these two policies are already there in this same GitHub repo. So you can copy and paste and you can create the policies in IAM, and then you can create the IAM role and attach it to the instance. Okay, so step 1 is already done. I already have the instance, as I just mentioned. I already have the instance with me. I need to create the IAM role. So for that, first I will go to my IAM console. I'm already on the IAM console in the policies section here. Okay, so if you don't know, you can just type IAM here. You can click on it and you will reach this dashboard, and from here if you click on policies, you'll get to this dashboard where you can create your policies. Okay, so step number 1 is to create the policy. So let's go to GitHub repo here, and these two policies. So just click on the first policy, CloudWatch 1. And I can copy this policy from here. I can go to my AWS management console and click on create policy. And then I can click on this JSON because I have the policy in JSON format, and I can remove all the default JSON here and I can paste my policy. Okay, and I can click on next. I can name the policy. Maybe I will just write CloudWatch CW. That's it, and create policy. Policy created. Now I have to create another policy, so I'll click on create policy, JSON. I'll remove this default JSON and I'll go to GitHub repo. I'll copy the other policy JSON, which is SSM policy 1. So I'll copy the JSON from here. I'll go back to my AWS management console. I'll paste the JSON here. Don't need to do anything here. All the policy is ready to use. Okay, so just click on next, and you can name the policy. Maybe I'll just write SSM and create policy. The policy is created. Now I have to create the role. So let's go to role and click on create role. The trusted entity type will be AWS service because I want to use this role with my EC2 instance. Okay, so use case is going to be EC2. Next. Then I can choose the policies. So all the both the policies are customer managed, which means that I have created those, so I can filter it out from here. I can choose customer managed policies, and then I can just choose the two policies, CW and SSM. Next, name the role. I'll just write CW-SSM and create role. If you have any doubts how to create the role, so once again, I have another video called IAM Deep Dive, where I've covered IAM users, policies, and groups in a lot of detail. So you can go watch that video to understand the concept of IAM in AWS. The role is created. Next step is to attach the IAM role to the EC2 instance. So I'll go here. I'll go to actions. I'll choose the instance. I'll go to actions. I'll go to security. I'll go to modify IAM role, and I'm going to search for CW-SSM role from here and update the IAM role. The role is attached. Okay, I'll just refresh this window once. And I'll redo. Okay, so I'll just type CW-SSM, choose the role, update IAM role, and the role is successfully attached this time to my EC2 instance. Okay, this is done. Next is I have to SSH to the instance. So I have already SSHed, but I'll just re-log in. So I'm trying to re-SSH to my instance. Okay, after that, next is to download, install, and configure the agent. So now, since we have created the IAM role with the two policies for CloudWatch agent and SSM, now we are going to install the agents on the instance by logging into the instance. Okay, so I've done that. So now I'm going to download the CloudWatch agent first. So I'll copy this. I'm logged into the instance now. I'll become root for this activity. Clear the screen and download the CloudWatch agent. Done. Next is to download the SSM agent also. Done. This is done. Next is I will start the SSM agent first. Okay, so here in this command I just downloaded the CloudWatch agent, but using this command I'm trying to download and install the agent in one command. Okay, so this agent is already installed. SSM agent is already installed, so I can start this. So I can start the agent using this command. Now I can check the status of the agent, if it is in started status or not, to verify. So the agent is active and running 37 seconds ago, and everything is looking good with our SSM agent. This is fine. Next is we have to configure the CloudWatch agent. So we have downloaded the CloudWatch agent, but we did not configure it or install it. Okay, so to do that, first thing is you have to install the agent. So I downloaded it using this command, wget command, which is used to download from a remote URL, which I did, but now I'm trying to install it. I'm using root user here. Okay, but if you are not using root, then you have to specify sudo commands. Okay, but with root you can ignore this, or you can use it. It still works. Okay, so I'm using the same commands. So this is done. I've installed the agent. Next is I have to configure the CloudWatch agent. So this is the standard command given by AWS that we can use to configure the CloudWatch agent. When you run the command, you're going to be asked for various questions. So it's going to be an interactive way to configure your agent. Okay, so the first question is, on which operating system are you planning to use the agent? I want to use it with Linux. So that is a default option. So you can either leave it default, or you can type the option of your choice. Then I want to retrieve the I want to use it with EC2 instance. Okay, trying to fetch the default region based on EC2 metadata. Retry client will try one times. Are you using EC2 or on premises? I'm using EC2, which is the default option. So just hit enter to use the default option 1. Then which user are you planning to run the agent? I want to use it with root user. For root, I have to type 2. Do you want to turn on stats D daemon? No, I don't want to use that. So there are two more daemons, stats D and collect D, that you can use additionally with your CloudWatch, but I don't want to do it. We just want to use the agent to have access to our memory utilization metrics that we can post on CloudWatch and use it to create an alarm. So that's what we want to achieve. So I'll just keep the other things apart. Okay, I'll keep other things aside for a while. Okay, so I'm not going to use stats D. I'm also not going to use collect D. So I'll use 2 option. Next is, do you want to monitor any host metrics? Yes, we want to host that. We want to monitor the host level metrics. So I'll use the option 1, which is the default one. Next is, I want to monitor CPU metrics. Yes. Do you want to add EC2 dimensions into your metrics? So you can you can add additional information to your metrics related to image ID, instance type, auto scaling, group name. So that's fine. You can choose this as yes. Next is, I want to aggregate these dimensions together. Yes. Then would you like to collect your metrics at high resolution, sub-minute resolution? This enables sub-minute resolution for all metrics, but you can customize the specific metrics in the output JSON file. So it's asking us what level of metrics do we want to collect. Do you want to collect the metrics at like for each second, like 1 second, or on a time period of each 10 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds? Okay, so if you're using this high resolution one, which means like 1 second, it's going to be like you have too much information. Okay, you get more insights into your metrics, but we don't want to do it. We want to use we want to just use the normal or the default option here, which is 60 seconds. Okay, so I just want to have access to the metrics every 60 seconds. Okay, using this, like to collect your metrics at high resolution or sub-minute resolution. This enables sub-minute resolution for all metrics. Yeah, so we want to use the default option of 60 seconds for this. Okay, I don't want to use the high resolution metrics. Fine. Then which default metrics configuration do you want? So in terms of the metrics configuration, also you have basic, standard, advanced. Okay, I myself haven't used advanced at all. Okay, but in this video I'm going to use the basic default metrics configuration. Okay, so as I mentioned, there are different type of configuration with CloudWatch. Some are free, some are chargeable. Okay, so it depends on your use case. You can do a lot of different things in CloudWatch. Okay, but in this video I just want to keep it very simple. I just want to use the default options or the most basic options, because I just want to have access to my memory utilization as the custom metrics. I want to see that in my CloudWatch dashboard, where I can use it to create an alarm. Okay, so here I'm going to use the default metrics configuration, which is the basic one. Then are you satisfied with the above configuration? So all the configuration that you do, it's going to be shown on your screen in the JSON format, so you can review that. But I'm pretty sure whatever I've chosen is the correct one, so I'm going to go with yes. Then I don't have any existing CloudWatch log agent running, so I'll choose no. I don't want to monitor any log files. So you have the option to monitor any additional log files like var-log messages or var-log. In the var-log directory, you have these different log files for different applications that are running on your instance. So you have the option to monitor all that. But in this video, I just still want to just have access to my memory. So I'll just say no to this. Next is, don't CloudWatch agent to also retrieve accelerated traces. No, I don't want that. Do you want to store the configuration, the SSM parameter store? Now here what it's asking for me is that whether whatever configuration I have done here on this instance, it can be stored on SSM parameter store. So SSM stands for systems manager. In Systems Manager, you have a parameter store where you can store some configuration files. Okay, so it is giving me the option to store the configuration there. So I want to do that because I want to store the configuration there, and then I can configure my CloudWatch agent configuration from there also, which I'm going to show you. So I want to choose this option as yes. Then it's asking me what name do you want to keep this SM parameter with. So you have to use this Amazon CloudWatch hyphen as the prefix. Okay, so in my policy is if you see in my policy, I am using this name here actually, which I want to use. Okay, and if you want to make changes to that name, then you have to make the changes to your policy also. So in the policy, I'm using a particular name of the parameter store, this one. So this is the name that I want to keep as the name for the parameter store, that where I want to store the CloudWatch configuration. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to keep the name as the same which I have given in the policy. Then it's asking which region, because all the CloudWatch metrics that you use is regional in nature, which means that the matrix which resides in one region, if you change the region in your AWS console, then you won't have access to that matrix. So remember that. Okay, so CloudWatch Metrics is regional. So I want to use US East 1 region, which is the default region which I have been using in my AWS account. Then it's going to ask for this credential. So this is all from, I believe it's coming from the AWS role that I've attached to the instance. Okay, I did not configure any specific access keys. Okay, so it's asking for this whether, okay, which AWS credential should be used to send JSON config to parameter store. So whatever it is, just accept the defaults. And you can see the message, successfully put config to parameter store Amazon CloudWatch demo. So now whatever you have configured has been put to the SM parameter store also, okay, which I'm going to show you in a while. Next is, this is done. CloudWatch agent is configured, right? Next, I want to check the status of the CloudWatch agent. So this is again an AWS given standard command to check the status of your CloudWatch agent. It is in stop status right now. So we have to start it. To start, we can use the next command. So this is going to start the CloudWatch agent on my EC2 instance. Okay, now I can check again the status and I can see the status is in running. Okay, to double show that, you can check if there are any processes running with CloudWatch. Okay, so you can use this command ps-space-ef, then you can grab for the CloudWatch processes. Okay, it's going to just confirm. So as you can see, all this output means that CloudWatch agent is now running on my EC2 instance. Okay, next is, additionally, if you want to set up a CloudWatch alarm, okay, this we will do a little later. Okay, so here you can see if I want to additionally, if you want to set up a CloudWatch alarm for EC2 memory usage threshold breach, example greater than or equal to 20%, use the following commands to increase memory usage on your EC2 instance. So when I'm trying to configure this CloudWatch alarm for memory utilization, then I'm going to use these two commands to manually increase the memory on my EC2 instance so that I can have this alarm which is going to trigger an email notification to me. Okay, so which I'm going to show you in a while. So we have installed the agent, we have configured it. Now let's go to CloudWatch and see how, if the CloudWatch is actually sending the metrics of my EC2 instance to the CloudWatch dashboard or not. So I'll go to CloudWatch. Okay, and I'll go to metrics actually. So I'll scroll from here and I'll go to all metrics. And I'll go to browse to search for the instance. I think I'm using the same instance, which is 21A. Let's confirm. So instance ID is ending with 21A and here also it's 21A. So this matrix is from my EC2 instance only, but this is the default matrix which I am seeing right now. I want to check the CloudWatch based matrix. So I'll go to this option called all. So here if you click on this all, you will see all the metrics. Okay, so now you can see some CloudWatch agent based metrics as well, which is visible. Okay, so if I click on this option, So these are the custom namespaces which have been created by the CloudWatch agent when we configured it. Okay, so you can click on this first option here, which is this namespace, custom namespace of CloudWatch agent. You click on it and you can check some additional metrics being post from the this CloudWatch agent on my EC2 instance to CloudWatch. So as you can see here, now I am seeing this. Sorry. Okay, this is for 21A. My instance ID is 21A. Okay, so this is for some other instance which I had in the past. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just filter it out. 21A, let's see if I'm able to see the metrics. So I'll just copy the instance ID from here and I will just filter it out with the instance that I want to have metrics of. Yeah, this is from the same instance. Sorry, I think I missed it. So as you can see here, after I configured my CloudWatch agent, okay, I'm able to see the this memory use percent also, okay, for my instance. So here, this particular matrix is coming from CloudWatch agent. As you can see, it is created in the CloudWatch agent namespace only after I configured it. Okay, so if I choose it from here like this, I can see this memory utilization. So this is the memory utilization. Here also you can see yeah, so this is the memory utilization of my instance, as you can see in the screen right now. So CloudWatch agent AMI this memory use percentage. Okay, so I'm able to see my memory utilization also. So these are the data points. As you can see, data points are 5 minutes apart because I'm using the basic monitoring. Okay, if I remember, I chose the basic monitoring. I did not choose the detailed monitoring while configuring the CloudWatch agent, but I did have the option, right? But it's going to be chargeable for me. So I'm using the basic monitoring to have access to my memory metrics also now. Okay, as you can see, I can see the memory metrics also, which is in orange. Okay, the one in blue is the CPU utilization, which is the default matrix. Okay, so this means that I was able to successfully configure my CloudWatch agent and I'm able to see the additional metrics of my memory usage from the agent to CloudWatch dashboard as well. All right, so this is fine. This is working fine. Now if I go back to my instance here, if I just hit refresh once and I'll choose the instance. Okay. Yeah, so I've chosen my instance here. If I go to monitoring here, okay, I can see this option of configuring CloudWatch agent. If I click on it here, I will be redirected to this screen. Okay, I have to click on next from here and I can see the SSM agent status is online. Okay, which means that the agent is online now. So which means that the SSM agent is able to talk to SSM service in AWS. Okay, the meaning of this. So I'll click on next. Then it's going to validate if I have sufficient IAM permissions, which means that if the IAM role that I attach to the instance has sufficient permissions to talk to this service or not. So all I'm doing here is, as you can see, sufficient permissions has come up. So which means that I can configure my CloudWatch agent from this page also. Okay, since I have put my configuration in SSM parameter store. So it's going to validate if the agent is already installed. So agent is already installed and CloudWatch agent status is also installed and responding. Okay, so I click on next and here you can see I'll get those options from the UI now. Okay, so collection interval I chose as 60 seconds if you remember. So I did that from the CLI and all the different options that I want to use, I can just try to configure the CloudWatch agent from the UI as well now. Okay, from here also I can choose if I want to. Okay, so So all the options that I chose from the CLI are now available in the UI in this screen. So this is all happening because I put my configuration to SSM parameter store and I gave the instance sufficient permission so that it can talk to the SSM service. Okay, so this is also possible from here. Just wanted to show you. So we've already configured this agent, so we don't have to configure it again. But if you want to change anything, you can do it from this screen. Fine. Now next is now I'm going to go back to CloudWatch, and now I want to set up some alarms. So I'll go to all alarms from this left hand side menu here, all alarms, and I don't have any alarms right now, so I can create alarm. So this is the other thing that I want to do with CloudWatch. So I'll go to create alarm. I'll select the metric. The metric is going to be a CloudWatch agent based. So I'll just choose this. I will choose this first one, namespace, and I'm going to, sorry, not this one. This is from the other instance. So let's go back. Let's choose the other namespace. Let's choose this one. Let me filter it out with the instance ID. So I'll go back to the instances. I'll copy the instance ID, copied, and I'll go back to my metric here. And I can see I'm able to filter out the metrics based on the instance ID. Okay, but I don't see the okay, let's just scroll down. I should be able to see the memory usage somewhere. Okay, it's only for disk, so I'll go back from here. I'll use the other namespace, probably this one. Yeah, so here you can see this is the instance ID. Okay, so now I'm able to see this memory used percentage of my instance in one of the namespaces that I configured. Okay, so I'll just choose this one as the metric. I'll click on select metric because I selected the metric of this memory used percentage here. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up an alarm based on the memory used percentage of my EC2 instance. Okay, so I have to select the metric. So I chose the metrics. Okay, utilization goes over, say 20%, greater than 20%. Okay, click on next. So I want to trigger an alarm. I want to trigger an alarm on using the SNS service. So SNS is again simple notification service which is used to send email notifications for you. Okay, following an alarm that is triggered in CloudWatch. Okay, so I don't have any topic created for this, so I'm going to create a new topic. So it's pretty simple here. Just choose this create new topic here and write the topic name. You can write mem EC2 for example, topic, and which email do you want the emails to be sent to. So you can choose here. So I'm going to choose my official email, which is techapricate@gmail.com. Create topic. Click on next. Alarm name, I can choose the same as mem-ec2. Next, and I can review all the options. Okay, so let's review it. What I want in the CloudWatch agent namespace, the name of the metric is mem use percentage. This is the instance. This is the image ID. This is the instance type. This is the instance name, CloudWatch. Statistic is average. Period is 1 minute, which means that for a period of 1 minute, if average memory utilization, okay, it goes over 20%, it goes over, okay, I'm using this greater than option here, it goes over 20%, this alarm is going to send an email notification to the chosen email ID. Okay, I'll just click on create alarm. Alarm is created. So what I have to do is, since I chose the email ID on which the email has to be sent, I'm going to confirm the email ID. So I have to confirm the email ID also. So I'll just refresh my email account, and I can see one email coming from AWS, which is to confirm this notification for this alarm called for this topic of this mem-EC2. Okay, the topic that I just created in SNS. So I'll click on this confirm subscription. It's going to confirm my email to receive the email alerts when the CloudWatch alarm is triggered in my account. Okay, and then we will try to manually increase the memory utilization on my EC2 instance to see if the alarm is getting triggered and I'm receiving the email or not. So in this way, I've confirmed the subscription. Fine, this is done. Okay, just resubscribe. I think some issue. So I'll resubscribe. So subscription is confirmed. All right. Now I'll go back to my AWS management console, and I can see this is the alarm that is created. The state right now is insufficient data because the data hasn't been picked up by the alarm yet. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go back to my EC2 and I'll try to manually increase the memory. So how you can do that? I've already given it in my GitHub repo to manually increase the memory usage on your EC2 instance. You can install this package called stress-ng. So I'll just copy and install this. After that, I'm going to run a command based out of stress-ng. So this is the command that you can run to increase the memory utilization of your EC2 instance manually. Done. It's going to start increasing the it's going to start utilizing the memory to increase the memory utilization percentage. And I can go to this and I can just click on refresh. In a few moments, you will see this alarm state changing from OK to alarm, which means that the alarm has been triggered. As soon as the alarm gets triggered, I'm going to receive an email notification from the SNS topic that I used while getting the alarm on my email here. Okay, so we'll just have to wait for it. All right, so now you can see the alarm has been triggered, and as soon as the alarm is triggered, I can check I received the alarm as well on my email. Okay, it says you're receiving this email because your CloudWatch alarm mem-EC2 has entered the alarm state. The threshold has crossed 1 out of 1 last data points, which means the alarm was triggered. Okay, so the threshold value was greater than 20%. Okay, so in this way you can see what CloudWatch agent is able to do. It's able to monitor your resources. It's able to send the custom metrics from your EC2 instance to CloudWatch, and using that metrics you can create an alarm as well. So as soon as the memory utilization breached the threshold, I am able to receive the email notification as well, right? So this is how good this service is to do different things. And also, as I mentioned, it can take some automatic actions as well if you configure it. Okay, I already have done one project on that one where the CloudWatch alarm triggered an scaling event to increase the number of EC2 instances in an auto scaling group. If you haven't watched that video, in the same playlist you can check that, or there's a separate playlist for AWS and DevOps projects. You can go and check that, where I've configured this particular CloudWatch scaling event trigger. Okay, in that project video, so you can go check that out. All right, so that's all I want to cover. Okay, there's one more thing. If you want to set up some CPU utilization based alarms also, so for that also I've given this command here. You have to install this package called stress, and then you have to run this command to increase the CPU utilization on your EC2 instance manually. It's going to then you can use this to create another alarm on CPU utilization metric to be triggered, so that an email is triggered to you, or you can take some action, some automatic action as well. Okay, so you can do that, but I already did that in one of the projects, as I just mentioned. So you can go watch that if you want to use this CPU usage based CloudWatch alarm to be triggered on your EC2 instance. So you can go watch that video. Okay, or else you can just copy these two commands, and you can configure in the same way as I configured for memory utilization. You can do it for CPU utilization as well. All right, All right, so just to repeat what we have covered, we saw how CloudWatch agent is able to monitor the different metrics on a particular resource, in our case EC2 instance, how it is able to monitor some default metrics on the EC2 instance like CPU utilization, disk utilization, and network. Also, we installed CloudWatch agent on our resource EC2 instance to have this access to custom metrics, which is our memory utilization on the instance, which is then is being monitored by CloudWatch service. And then we used this CloudWatch default this CloudWatch a custom metric of memory utilization to create an alarm. Okay, when it reached the threshold of 20%, which means that whenever the memory utilization on our EC2 instance reached the 20% threshold, it triggered an email notification to us. Okay, so all that has been covered in this video. Also, I have already done one video on how the CloudWatch alarms can be used to trigger a scaling event in an auto scaling group to increase the number of instances to support the additional user load. Okay, so you can go watch that video in the same playlist. So all this have already been covered. Okay, I hope this video was useful to you. So that's all I wanted to cover. Alright guys, so if you like this video, please hit the like button, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and please do subscribe to my channel. Alright, that's all, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.